your host with the most local 23-year journey me for distant shores, Chapter 14, Dance of Death. Well, it's almost time for the Governor's Ball, and your crew gathers on the deck to go over your plans to crash the party. I wish we were all going with you tonight. Think of the dancing. Think of the wine. Do you ever think of anything else?
I'm glad we're staying behind. Too many cooks spoiled the broth.
I will have a better chance with just the four of ye. Only if the rest of us keep underestimating ourselves, Maggie darling.
I thought it might be fun to go. I've never been to a ball before.
They're just fancy to-dos with a bunch of stuffy folks dressed in stuffier clothing.
You can go to the fancy ball next time, promise.
Really? Oh, we're holding you to that, Peyton.
Edward pulls his watch from his pocket and consults it. It's time to get dressed. Charlie, did you contact deliver the items we need?
When have I ever failed you?
You, Edward, Charlie meet Oliver in the cabin. Charlie looks through his invitations again.
We have the invitation for the Italian ambassador, which will let us sneak in a couple of companions as well. I've got us outfits to match our new status.
She hands you each a package tied with a cord. Edward changes first, and when he emerges from the screen in the corner, his eyes are wide as he smooths the green silk on his jacket. I don't think I've ever worn a suit this fine in my life. Looks good. You almost look like a respectable gentleman. Heaven forbid.
And for you, Oliver, this is what servants in the governor's mansion wear.
I don't want to be hidden in the kitchens away from danger.
Oliver, the servants always know everything. The gossip, the whispering. You'll be in the best position to gather information out of all of us.
I suppose you have a point. Very well.
He dons simple clothes and emerges from the screen. Simple clothes. That is still rich by my taste. Damn, you look good in anything.
You're too kind, Peyton.
Next, Charlie slips by the screen to change into a pale purple gown.
Pale purple gown, my ass!
That is quite beautiful.
Ah, very beautiful indeed.
You look stunning. I don't even know what to say.
Your speechlessness speaks volumes. I have a couple outfits for you too, love.
She offers you a pale pink gown with elegant lace trim. Just touching the fine silk makes you feel like a refined lady.
In an outfit like this, you'll put all those stuffy socialites to shame. But if you'd rather, I also got you a simple maid's costume.
Let's go start with the gown. Wear the Lady of the Hour outfit to disguise yourself as an Italian ambassador for the evening. You'll even be able to choose Charlie or Edward to be your partner for this evening.
We've got the Lady of the Hour. Simple pink. Remember this, everyone. Simple pink.
And then we've got maid. Why does Oliver look better in his garments? I'm sad. What do you think? Fit for the governor's ball?
Nay, you look much too good for the wretch.
She reaches out to brush a stray hair from your face, and you smile.
Very well. Peyton will go as the Italian ambassador. Not much is known about her in these parts, so you could choose either me or Edward to be your partner for this evening.
Well, I chose Edward last time, and you will look like the belle of the ball. Charlie can be my partner.
Don't worry. With our position, people will be too afraid to ask any questions.
Plus, Charlie can always take care of anyone who does.
Wouldn't be the first time. Edward can be our traveling companion and friend from back home.
And remember the mission. We must find the Admiral and determine his next move. Or slit his throat where he stands.
Without getting caught.
You take a deep breath. Right, so no pressure. Never any is. When you arrive at the governor's manor, the crowds are already gathering, drifting slowly through the mansion's open doors.
Oliver, head to the kitchens and ask for Miss Dorothy. Tell her I sent you, and she'll make sure you get where you need to go.
I understand. Oliver, be careful. Never fear, I may be out of my depth in a pirate tavern, but I've seen my fair share of balls painting, I'll be fine. Yeah, but if they're gonna put you to work, you might damage your manicure. And with one last nod, he disappears into the shadows around the corner of the house. You follow the others to the main entrance of the house, your pilfered invitation in hand. Shall we? You nod and offer Charlie your arm. She slips her hand through the crook of your elbow, easily putting on the mask of high society. I suppose we shall. Edward falls in a step behind you. That's right, know your place, man! Charlie passes your invitations to the Master of Ceremonies, who announces your group's arrival. The Italian ambassador, Lady DeLuca. As you descend the staircase, you hear people start to talk in furious whispers.
Who did they say that was? The Italian ambassador. She's so fashionable, and a lady ambassador. How modern. Do you think that's the latest style from Milan? I'm so jealous.
I see you're making a good impression already, Miss Bellamy. That's Lady DeLuca to you. The three of you reach the bottom of the staircase and gaze around the ornate ballroom. The upper echelon of society twirls around the dance floor as a dizzying pace of gilded frocks catching the light. No sign of the Admiral yet. I can feel the compass nearby. He's close.
I don't see the governor either, but there's Oliver. He must have found the kitchens, all right.
But even as you try to confer with your friends at the edge of the dance floor, you keep getting bumped and pushed by the crowds.
Oh, pardon me.
There's just standing here and craning our necks.
Aye, we have to split up and cover more ground.
I'll go with Charlie. Why else would I have her join me? Charlie is already mid-conversation with a cluster of guests at the edge of the dance floor.
Oh, it's the latest fashion in Florence. Simply everyone is doing it. Truly, that's scandalous.
Hey, look, everyone, we're going to use all the people from Desire and Decorum.
Not in Florence. Ah, Lady DeLuca, may I introduce Lady Mourinho and her companion, Miss Torres? What an honor. How wonderful to meet you.
Charlie flicks open her fan to flutter in front of her face, using it to cover her to whisper.
Whatever they say to defend Italy. I was just telling these lovely ladies about the latest fashions in Florence. Her enthusiasm is charmingly quaint. I even thought the Italians recognized the superiority of the Parisian taste.
Actually, I prefer the sophistication of Milan, but I suppose I'm biased towards my homeland.
Ah, as all loyal subjects should be, I should think.
Charlie smiles charmingly before tucking her arm through yours and starting to steer you away.
If you'll excuse us, ladies.
Are all conversations at the parties like this so adversarial?
Most are far worse.
Charlie leads you to the bottom of the grand staircase.
I do believe the chances that the Admiral is negotiating with the governor out in the open in a crowded ballroom is quite low. But upstairs, one of the private rooms.
She gestures up the grand staircase and then winks. Well, if anything, we'll get you alone for 5 minutes. I mean, what?
You never know what we might find.
What did I tell you? 5 minutes alone with her. I told you. What did I say? I'm always right. I know. It's a curse. Let's go. Charlie leads you up the staircase to the second floor. The hallway stretches before you, lined with extravagant paintings and ornate doors.
You think with all the money he could have redecorated in the last decade, but it's exactly as I remember it.
She passes 3 doors and stops at one on the right. She presses her ear to the door and then opens it.
The governor's bedroom. Let's take a look around, just in case he left anything important.
Charlie walks into the bookshelves on the far side of the room and runs her fingers over the gilded spines of a book.
Is it odd that I can't entirely hate him?
Charlie, hatred isn't good for you. It just wastes energy you could spend on living your life.
You're right, and I have lived my life. Even better, I've lived a life my father would despise from the top to bottom.
That's the best kind of revenge there is. Charlie pulls the book from its shelf and moves to the settee at the end of the bed.
I suppose this is part of why I can't fully hate him. Once he found out I taught myself how to read, he gave me full access to his collection. I thought for sure he'd give me a lashing, but instead...
Charlie adopts a stiff, snobbish expression and accent.
Girl, I hope you can appreciate the honor of a proper education.
Well, that hardly makes up for his abhorrent behavior. One good deed doesn't overcome a lifetime of assholery.
You're not wrong. I think he was waiting for me to fail, so I pushed myself to study harder. I wanted to be prepared, so he decided to test me at a moment's notice.
That explains why you were so amazing downstairs. You dazzled the other party guests.
That's not education, love. That's style.
Well, from what I've heard, you didn't learn that from your father.
No, I like to think I got it from my mother.
You've never told me about her.
I hardly remember her. She was a maid here before my father threw her out on the house before I was born, or just after.
Charlie, that's messed up. What the hell? Who does your dad think he is?
The governor of Port Monarch. He couldn't afford the scandal, and my mother had no say in the matter.
Charlie shakes herself.
There's no use in complaining. I was warm, fed, slept under a roof most nights. Pretty people have never had such luxury, even among our crew.
Charlie.
Besides, I will find my mother. It's only a matter of time.
You've been looking for her?
Aye. That's why I have so many contacts across the Caribbean.
You'll find her soon. I'm sure of it.
How can you be so sure?
Because I know you, and if I was a betting woman, I'd bet on you every time. Charlie steps closer, and her gaze darkens, her eyes intense.
When you believe in me, it almost makes me want to believe too.
Charlie. You cup Charlie's face between your hands and stroke her cheeks. Then let me give you something good to believe in. Your kiss starts soft, sweet. Charlie's mouth opens beneath yours. You tease your tongue along the curve of her lower lip before stroking inside.
Peyton.
He presses into you, desperate, and the two of you stumbling steps to pin her against the door. You're on your hands at Charlie's side, only to tangle with hers as she reaches for you.
How does anyone breathe in these dresses?
I'm not sure they do. You kiss her again, thrilling from the feeling of her being in control. Or one in control. She moans into your kiss again, her hands clutching at your sides as she shudders. Still breathing?
Barely.
Let's fix that. You're about to loosen her bodies, for her own good, clearly, when you hear footsteps out in the hallway. Crap. You pull apart and try to get your breathing under control as you listen to the footsteps pass the door and continue down the hallway. Once the danger has passed, you step back and smooth your clothes back into place. I guess it's our cue to head back downstairs and focus on the mission before we get caught. I told you 5 minutes.
Aye, but this was a welcome distraction.
You follow her out of the room and creep back down the hallway, peeking into the rooms as you go, but still no signs of the Admiral. Why don't you use your compass sense? Seriously.
I'll search the rest of the floor. You should head back to the dance.
Be careful.
Don't worry about me.
Charlie leans in to give you a kiss before disappearing down another long hallway. You sigh happily as you turn and enter the ballroom again. Oh, look at this. We can join each and every one of them. Edward! That whole initial point of shaking Charlie versus Edward, completely pointless apparently. The musicians strike up a graceful song and the chaos of the dance floor begins to sort itself into couples. Miss Bellamy, I mean, Lady DeLuca, it would be my best if we enjoy at least one dance, don't you think? For the disguises, of course. Of course, my lord. Edward settles a hand at your hip and twirls you into your starting position. Your heart races as you join the other couples spinning around you. Don't step on his feet. Don't step on his feet. You're just starting to get the hang of it when you step back and bump into a well-dressed man. I say! Sorry, sir. I didn't mean to run into you. The man slowly looks you up and down and then smiles. 'Tis no matter, Ambassador Morian. Oh, at your service. I was just complaining to my dance partner here about the English winters. They're so insufferable, are they not? I prefer the Caribbean. You can't beat the bright sunshine on a sandy beach. I've never set foot on a beach. Perhaps I should. Oh, I highly recommend it.
Excuse us, Ambassador Moreno. Of course.
As Edward pulls you away, he leans down to whisper,
Nicely done, Miss Bellamy.
"Thank you." Edward steers you towards the edge of the dance floor. Beyond him, a secluded balcony beckons. Do you think the Admiral could be outside somewhere?
It's possible secluded garden is the perfect place to plot foul deeds.
Sure you're not just trying to get me alone?
Oh, you see right through me, Miss Bellamy.
I know we haven't had much time to talk, but this certainly isn't the most opportune moment. But with the future so uncertain, you put a hand on his arm to stop him. I get what you mean. This might be our only chance. I'm surprised, I tell you. Surprised. Color me surprised. Would you like to see? No, you don't. Edward offers you his arm, and the two of you stroll through the open doors and into the privacy of the night. Outside, you lean against the stone balustrade. You gaze drifts across the garden. See couples strolling, young gentlemen flirting with their ladies, but no signs of the Admiral.
No, more's the pity.
The garden stretches out below you, lit by candles floating on the fountains and strung in tiny paper lanterns. I didn't expect it to be so beautiful.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? One of those fancy lords inside would likely say the garden is but half as alluring as you are.
Oh, and what would you say?
That comparing you to this manufactured, meticulously maintained garden would be an insult. You are mysterious, wild, neither made by man nor controlled by him. You eclipse this garden, shrouding it with your splendor of your beauty.
And this is why I like Edward.
He looks away as if suddenly self-conscious. He tugs at the collar on his fancy coat.
Edward, you look very handsome too.
You needn't lie to me, Miss Bellamy. I know I look ridiculous.
You turn to face him, smoothing his collar into place with gentle fingertips. I'm not lying. I mean, sure, I prefer my dashing captain, clad in leather and armed with steel, but you wear this well. You wear everything well.
Oh, well, then thank you. Edward reaches out to brush a lock of your hair back into place. You know, when I'm with you like this, away from the rest of the world, I can almost forget the burden of my mission for a moment.
Only almost?
Edward sighs. Aye, the Admiral's so close I can feel him, the weight of this wickedness pressing down on this whole place.
We'll find him soon. We'll stop him. And after that, you can start living your life for you.
I hardly know what that life would look like.
No one said it has to look all that different from the life you currently have. I've heard about some of the adventures you've had.
I suppose I do have my share of stories.
Tell me an adventure you want to have.
I suppose I'd like to see where you came from.
You travel to the future.
How could I resist? I see all we've yet to achieve, and finally understand the strange things you ramble on about all the time.
It would be such an adventure, all right. So much has changed. And some things haven't. There are still monsters like the Admiral in the future. Too many of them.
There will always be men like him. But with your help, this monster has no future.
It's a good way of putting it.
You look up at Edward and see his intense eyes sparkling in the moonlight. The magnetic pull between you draws you in closer and closer until...
Edward. You reach up and slip your fingers behind his neck, pulling him down into a kiss. His hands drop to your hips and clench tight. You feel a tremor pass through him as he struggles between holding back and giving in. Let go, Edward. It's all right.
Hayden.
With a groan, Edward pulls you back into the shadows, pressing your body against the wall. The darkness envelops you, hiding you from the dancers twirling just on the other side of the doors.
What are you doing to me?
Whatever you want me to do.
His mouth finds yours again, hot and desperate. You meet his kiss, shivering as his tongue strokes over yours.
Oh, Edward.
Edward's hands start to drift lower, but a burst of laughter spilling out of the ballroom makes him freeze. Gently, he grips your shoulders and eases you away. We should, be cautious, especially here.
Right, cautious. Good idea. By the way, I know where the Admiral is.
He's in the basement. Edward reaches out to smooth your clothing back into place. His fingers are gentle against your temples as he brushes back your hair. Soon, Peyton will have all the time in the world. I'm holding you to that. Edward leads you back into the ballroom and you resume your search for the Admiral. Why is he in the basement? Because we checked upstairs, and most things during this time period took place in basements or dark alcoves. Oliver. You head for the corner where Oliver's holding a heavy tray laden with wine. He smiles, but before he can speak, a wildly twirling young woman crashes into him. Ugh. And despite of his best effort, Oliver can't keep the carafe upright. Wine splashes out and all over the lady's skirt. You don't! Look what you've done! I'm terribly sorry, miss. Please, allow me to... You've ruined my dress. This is Venetian silk. Look. This is good luck. What is? Why, having a bit of wine spilled on you in a party. Have you never heard that before? Truly? Oh, well, in that case. Yeah, because anyone's going to buy that. She bends to examine her him very closely, and you take advantage of her distraction. You drag Oliver back through the door and close it behind you. Quick, this way. I thought she was going to start swinging. That would certainly have drawn some undue attention, and I am in your debt. Although I suppose I must head down to the wine cellar to fetch a new bottle. Need someone to keep you safe in the dark? Aye. Because it's the cellar to get her. If I were my father, it would be a perfect place to make a dishonorable deal. Will you join me? Fine. Lead the way. You take his arm and he guides you down into the well-stocked wine cellar. You turn to him in the dim light, trying to get a good look at him. So, how are you feeling about all this, I mean? But about the fact that I am currently embroiled in a plot to spy on and most likely ruin my own father. Honestly, I'm struggling. Oliver, you're doing the right thing. I know, of course I know that. Knowing is different than feeling. Yes, it is. He laughs bitterly. It's not every day you find out your father is a murderous tyrant or that you get disowned. He disowned you? I deserted from the Navy to help a band of pirates foil his nefarious plans. Frankly, I'll be fortunate if all he does is disown me. Oliver stops, suddenly clenching his fists. I simply don't understand why he's doing this. Gold? He's amassed a fortune in prize money from captured ships. What's so special about this treasure? Oliver, I need to tell you the truth. It's not about the gold at all, Oliver. It's something much worse. What are you talking about? You take a deep breath and explain everything. How you first came into contact with the compass, how it transported you in time, how you joined Edward's crew to find a way back home. It's a lot to take in. I knew it had something extraordinary with my father to risk so much, but this is beyond comprehension. Oliver... Although I suppose it makes sense he'd do something reprehensible actions for power, not gold. So you believe me? I believe you think you're telling me the truth, and I believe your story could explain my father's actions. But I need more time to wrap my head around the rest of it. Time. I understand. But that doesn't mean, or rather, I hope this doesn't change things between us. I think you're the one who decides that, Oliver, given what I've told you. He gives a determined nod. Then it does not change things between us. Not yet, at least. You bring out the best in me, Peyton, and I need you to know that. He steps closer, his gaze roving over your face as he brushes his knuckles beneath your chin. With pleasure. A heartbeat later, his mouth descends on yours, open and seeking. You try to tilt your head so you confuse your mouse to his, but his fingers clench tight, holding you in place. Oliver. He takes over the moment, guiding your head to the perfect angle so he can trace his tongue over your lips. You attempt a deep breath, but there's no oxygen in the room. Everything is Oliver. Too soon he pulls away, his breathing hard, and his gaze is still fixed on your mouth. We should... Yeah, it's probably for the best. But before you step back, you pull him in for one more kiss. He sighs your name as he holds you close. Pete. Finally, the two of you part for the first time, or the time being at last. Oliver grabs a bottle of wine and you head back upstairs. Yay, we didn't find him anywhere. Evening winds on and your efforts are starting to feel futile, even though you can somehow feel the compass and you don't follow the thing. You know, plot armor. When you hear a familiar voice cut through the din of the bull. No time for idle pleasantries. Oh, Lord, we're doing this.
Of course, of course. Right this way, Admiral.
And there they are. Motion for Charlie, Edward, and Oliver to meet you at the edge of the ballroom. I found them. Where? You gesture to where the governor is ushering Admiral Cochrane away on the far side of the ballroom. Let's go. As you march directly across the ballroom with the others close behind, people jump to move out of your way. Excuse us.
Oh, no, pardon me.
Peyton certainly made an impression on the other party, guess.
Can you blame them with her in that outfit?
Nay, but we best be quick. Our targets just slipped through that door. You squeeze through the doorway after them.
Highly irregular. I don't generally make a point of discussing business during my own celebration.
You know what? I think I'm going to go with this voice even more. I was going for the guy from the vampire story. And I'm like, no. Somehow this got twisted. I'm doing it. I apologize, sir, but there's no time to waste. This is a matter of utmost urgency to the crown.
Very well. Let's get this over with.
You smell them disappearing up to the third floor.
They must be going to my father's study. It's the only room where he's conduct business up there.
Can we follow them without being seen?
Aye, I know a way. Follow me.
Charlie leads you up the stairs and ushers you into a passage hidden behind a grand tapestry. What is this place?
Haven't you ever seen a secret passage before? I'd imagine, being the son of an admiral, you'd be, just as familiar as I.
We've moved often to follow my father's postings. I've never had a chance to discover any secret passageways as a boy.
Pity. It is simply the best way to spy on an absentee father.
The passage Charlie leads you down is dark, so dark and dusty that you have to stifle a sneeze. At least we know no one's been here in years. And perhaps the governor has no knowledge of this place. Charlie puts one finger in front of her lips, gesturing at a carved grate in the wall with light on the other side. You crowd close and peer through. And I'm telling you, I need to get past the blockade to the east. I need that rate. The governor sighs as though he's heard this request 1,000 times.
The crown has no interest in your mad ramblings about some legendary treasure.
You told them about the compass? What did he think would happen? There's no way the governor would just accept the story without some proof. I can't believe I haven't heard any of this.
An admiral's job is to lead the Royal Navy, not chase ghosts. If you don't see to your duties, you may not be an admiral for much longer.
I'm not chasing ghosts. I know exactly where the treasure is. He jabs his finger down on the map on the desk. Where's he pointing?
I can't tell it from here.
Shh.
You've done this before, Admiral Cochrane. Why should I believe that this time is any different?
Because this time I have proof. Admiral waves someone forward. A familiar figure steps into the firelight and then bows. Evening, Governor. Robert is still with the Admiral.
I'm surprised one of them hasn't stabbed each other in the back by now.
Robert holds out the golden compass by its chain, offering it to the governor. Your proof, sir.
It's a compass, sir.
It's not just any compass. It's a key to the whole damn treasure.
More wild tales, sir.
Go on, Robert, show him. Slowly, deliberately, Robert drops the compass onto his other hand, his bare skin touching the object for the first time. Oh great, he can do it too. This is fantastic. Robert can make the compass glow too? That can only mean...
He's from the future. Oh! This explains everything. Your rage burns hotter as you think of every interaction with Robert again, every piece clicking into place. Robert must have known the truth about me the whole time, and he still tried to make me walk the plank.
It can't be.
Witchcraft!
The governor backs away from the desk, crossing himself.
You brought black magic into my home! Sign the writ and I'll take it out again. I'll have nothing to do with your foul sorcery!
The Admiral lets out an irritated sigh and steps forward.
Enough, and if you insist on standing in my way, then you leave me no choice.
Wait, what are you doing?
Admiral crosses the study in 2 steps and plunges a knife right into the governor's heart. The governor slumps to the floor, his eyes fixed and glassy.
Father!
Cover her mouth. You clap your hand over Charlie's mouth, muffling her cries. I'm sorry, Charlie, I'm so sorry. Charlie shudders in your arms, burying a face against your neck.
I didn't even get a chance to...
I know. Admiral Cochrane takes hold of the governor's hand, wrenching a heavy signet ring from his limp finger.
Excellent. This'll do nicely.
With a flourish, the Admiral forges the governor's signature on the writ, then uses the signet ring to impress his seal on the bottom.
We should discuss our next steps. I'm afraid you've misread the situation. What was that supposed to mean?
The Admiral rolls up his writ and tucks it into the interior pocket of his jacket. His gaze never leaves Roberts as he raises his voice.
Guards, to me! Your governor has been stabbed! What are you doing?
Well, you're a pirate in the house. He just turned on you.
Tying up loose ends. Guards, the pirates in the manor! You dared to double-cross me?
Robert takes a menacing step forward, but the Admiral merely smiles as the guards burst into the office. Ha!
The governor! Seize the pirate!
They lunge for Robert, but he's already leaping out the window, leaving the compass behind.
Search the house. He may have accomplices.
We're leaving now. We have to beat the Admiral to the treasure.
Forget that if they catch us. They'll think we had something to do with the governor's death.
Edward grasps Charlie's arm, but she's still staring through the grate at her father's lifeless body. He lies sprawled on the parquet floor, his clothing stained with blood. We have to go, Charlie. There's nothing more you can do for him. Grab her other arm, and together you and Edward hustle after Oliver. You escape in the night as the alarm sounds behind you, but there's only one thing on your mind as you make your way back to the docks. The Admiral will not stop at nothing to get the treasure, neither will we. Well, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head to the description below, links to social media, Discord, and a few links to support me and my content. And without further ado, hope you're all having a great day. If not, let me know why. Hopefully you all head over to Twitch and see our mental health discussion video from yesterday, where it was nearly 10 hours of a lot of people dropping by, having discussions, a lot getting out in the open, and it's something that I would like to do weekly. Probably not for that magnitude unless there is a lot of people stop by. This is something that I would like to do at least once a week, because right now I just feel like the world just really needs it. And we also need to talk about a lot of things that need to be talked about, especially uncomfortable truths and uncomfortable things. So thanks for watching. Catch you all in the next video. Peace.